Winter by Antonio Vivaldi, one of 4 violin concertos as part of the Four Seasons, composed in 1720. Vivaldi was known as the Red Priest because of his red hair and because he was actually trained for the priesthood. Now, he never became a priest, but he did serve in an orphanage as the violin teacher and then ultimately orchestra director. He made an orchestra out of the residents of the orphanage, which I thought was a great way to use his talents and a very cool thing that he did. For over 30 years, it was a good part of his career he spent there in Venice. He wrote almost 500 concertos. Almost half of those were for the violin also. Now, part of what he did that was cool was that he established the concerto form in a lot of ways. He wasn't the first person to ever write a concerto, but he wrote so many and he used consistent techniques the whole time that for hundreds of years after that, all the great composers followed what he established in the 1700s. So he paved the way for a lot of great composers to use this thing. Now, one of the coolest things that he does is that he would have the orchestra play a theme, and then he has the soloist come in and do something flashy and virtuosic and amazing, and then the orchestra comes back in and they play the theme again, and then the soloist takes another turn, and he does this back and forth thing that he established. That's kind of his voice as a composer, was to do that. And of course he did it so prolifically that it was followed by many composers after his time. So he's significant. These pieces, one of the things that the Four Seasons does is that it's called program music. So it's published along with some poems that convey the idea that he's trying to get across with his music. For instance, in Spring, one of the funny things is that he's trying to depict the goat herders in a meadow in the field, and in the music on the viola part, it actually says, play like a trustworthy dog, and it's the barking dog theme, they call it, because that's what it's supposed to represent. So he did some things very literally like that, and then other things are just the mood or the feelings of the different seasons. So we're going to be performing Winter this season. The poem that he wrote himself for Winter, it doesn't have as many specifics like the barking dog or something like that, but you can feel the coldness and the sternness of a bitter winter as you listen to it. So I think it's very cool that in 1720, more than 200 years before movies came out, that he's basically writing a soundtrack. So it's very unique that he's writing music that is solely instrumental. It doesn't have any actors or vocals or lyrics or anything, and he's still conveying ideas and thoughts and scenes just from the instrumental music. It's a very significant thing that he did a very long time ago. So that's why I think it's cool, and I hope to see you this season.